guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host, Jamie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday's episode. If you don't know, we do post every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Be there or be square. We're on Spotify and YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, the link for Spotify is below. If you want to give me a follow on there, maybe you want to rate me like 5 stars on there. And if you're on YouTube, then go ahead and, oh wait, I already said if you're on YouTube. Also press the subscribe button. And if you're on Spotify, hi, we also have a YouTube channel if you ever want to go to the YouTube channel, even though it's literally the same. I post videos on both. Well, that said, I literally just sat here and I had already pressed record, but I sat here for like 20 minutes eating my popcorn. If you can see, I popped this bag of popcorn 10 minutes earlier. And it's really, really good. Like, I could not stop eating it. But I also have my water because I've been so thirsty. But I had to make popcorn because I was like feeling so dizzy from my medicine and I was about to throw up. That's that on that. My fingers are also really greasy now because of the fucking microwave popcorn literally leaking butter. Like, oh, that's so healthy. I don't care. It's popcorn. Whatever. Popcorn is like good for you, I feel like, but unless you put loads of butter on it, which this is probably like extra butter. 0 grams of trans fat per serving though, so that's always a plus. I don't even know what trans fat is. Like, what does that mean? What's the difference between fat and trans fat? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. So if I have like stuff in my teeth, which I for sure have a few kernels, just ignore it. I'm in my pajamas. Did I say that already? I'm in my pajamas because after yoga, I came back, I took a shower, and I put my pajamas on, and maybe that's why I've been so motherfucking tired today, but I've been literally dying. I had a coffee before yoga, which isn't really yoga. It's literally like a fucking HIIT class. It's so hard, and I do it 3 times a week, and then yoga 2 times a week, but yeah, so I had a coffee before yoga, and then after yoga, me and my friend that comes with me to yoga, we went next door, which is the Dunkin' Donuts, and we got the cookie butter cold brew, which is literally so good. Like, they should make that an all the time thing, because typically, like, most of the drinks at Dunkin' just don't really hit that well, but like a cookie butter cold brew really does. And then I love the butter pecan, but I've tried so many of the flavors. I used to be a hazelnut girl through and through, but for some reason they took that off the menu. For why? I don't know. That was like the most rude thing they've ever done. They should take French vanilla off the menu. Sorry, but French vanilla is disgusting. Their French vanilla is disgusting. But yeah, so then I came home and I showered and put my pajamas on. And I've just been so lazy. Like, it's been hard to find motivation to do stuff today because I've been so lazy. I've been so tired. I think I need to get a little bit more sleep tonight, which is I'm just not good at. I have not been good at doing that at all. Like, I always go to bed. Well, me and my boyfriend go to bed at the same time. So, like, it's kind of impossible to go to bed without him because I'll wake up anyways, even if he comes to bed. And also, like, I find it hard to fall asleep when I know that he's out in the living room and I'm trying to fall asleep and I know that he's going to come in and wake me up. I don't know if that makes sense, but so we would go to bed at the same time, and we usually go to bed like 10:30, and then it takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to fall asleep. So then I'll wake up when he's getting ready for work, which is at like 7ish, and then I try to like fall back asleep, but it never happens. So I'm like in and out of sleep for like the next 30 minutes. So I feel like a perfect amount of sleep for me is like 10 hours, to be totally honest with you. I'm not even exaggerating. When I get 10 hours of sleep, I feel so good the next day. But I've been like on a hunt and on a mission for my whole life to try not to be tired. Like, what can I do to try not to be tired? I'm literally always tired, and I drink so much coffee. Like, I don't understand. I had 2 coffees today, and I still was so tired. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm working, like, on the couch, so that makes me more tired, but I feel like I still would be tired, and I wanted to take a nap so bad, and I tried, but I couldn't fall asleep, because I really have to be, especially during the day when I'm taking a nap, I have to have, like, a very specific sleep environment, if you know what I mean. So, like, I need my eyes covered, because I can't have the light. I need sound going, like a sound machine, like white noise. And then, like, I need to be comfortable, position, not have to pee. It's a whole ordeal. It really is. But I'm glad I don't feel as much like I'm going to throw up anymore. I do still feel a little dizzy, though. Like, I feel a little bit drunk. Oh, also, happy election day. Scared, to be totally honest with you. I am a little bit scared. I am a little bit nervous. I really, really feel like it's hard because I live in Florida, so it's like everyone around me is most people are like Trump supporters, very Trump supporting town that I live in as well. So I see all over the corners there. The other week I was driving and I was getting gas, and across the street there was like a group of literal adults, like 50-year-olds, and they all had their trucks and they had all their signs, their Trump signs, and they were blasting the Fuck Kamala Harris song. And I was like crying, laughing. I was like, what is happening right now? Like, truly, this is actually crazy. And how old are you? And also, like, what are you doing? Don't you have a job? Don't you have work to go to? Like, what are you doing? So, yeah, I really, really, just really, really hope that Kamala pulls through. The election's been crazy close. Like, it's actually crazy. And for a second, do you guys know, I think you guys know, that I'm originally from Iowa, born and raised till 18 years old. And obviously, Iowa, is like a really Republican state, which is why I've told you that growing up, I was a Republican. But, like, I wasn't by choice. You know what I mean? Like, when you just, like, follow what your parents say, or like, everyone in my family was. Like, my grandparents, my parents, everyone. And my grandparents, I would say, like, no politics, but, like, my mom definitely doesn't pay attention to politics. She would call herself an independent, but when I was younger, I felt like everyone around me was a Republican. And so I was, just by default. But as soon as I started, like, high school, I think, is when I really realized, like, wait a minute. I was, like, questioning all of these things. And I was like, wait. Because Republicans think that, well, I know every person in each party has, like, differing views. Like, most people don't completely 100% believe every value or whatever of that party. Like, I would definitely say there are some things that I can relate with on the other side as well. But okay, anyways, as soon as I went into high school, the biggest thing for me was, like, even though there was literally, like, 2 gay people in my town, that was, like, the biggest first thing that I really noticed, like, I didn't agree with within, like, the Republican Party, conservative, whatever, and, like, Christianity. That was, like, the biggest first thing. And, like, I don't know what was, like, why I was so gung-ho on that, which obviously, like, I completely, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why that was such a prevalent thing in my mind, because it wasn't around me at all. But for some reason that really, like, hit home, and I was like, wait, you don't agree with gay marriage? Like, you don't agree with, like, gay people or, like, the LGBTQ community, which I feel like back then, not me saying back then as if I'm 80 years old. I feel like back then it was like LGBT. Wait. Was it LGBT? I feel like it was just less known that there's, like, more than just lesbian, gay, and bisexual people, you know? At least in my town. In my town, I don't know. My town was just, like, very crazy. So, actually, you know what? I think I know why. Not that there was a lot of gay people or LGBTQ people in my town, but there was a lot of, like, homophobic people in my town that, like, I literally got in a Twitter war with these guys from my school because they were saying that, like, gay marriage is, like, such a sin and you should be, like, go to hell if you... It was actually crazy. I forget 100% what it was about. Not what it was about. It was definitely about gay marriage, but, like, I forget 100% what they were exactly saying. But they were saying, like, cruel stuff that was actually crazy. And, like, thinking back about it now is actually so insane that they were saying those things. And I was, like, I was appalled. But yeah, I was literally arguing with them on Twitter, and I was so pissed because there were just so many outwardly, like, homophobic people, especially the guys in my town. Obviously not all of them, but a lot of them were, like, very, very, very saying, like, very bad slurs all the time and just being terrible. So yeah, that's, like, the first thing that really made me think, like, wait, I think I'm on the wrong side, because I don't resonate with most of these things that this party is resonating with. And that really, really changed when I was, like, a sophomore, I think, and I was taking a government class, and we kind of went through the whole list of amendments and said which we agree with, and then we were, like, debating each other about stuff. And I was just realizing, like, wow, wait, I have a lot of liberal views. Like, I don't agree with a lot of this stuff that Republicans agree with. So, yeah. That is my villain origin story. Just kidding. But, so yeah, I really am just praying for this election, honestly. And I really just hope that we're going to be on the right side of history after this, because I can only imagine. I mean, I can only imagine what's going to happen in general. Like, I just feel like stuff's going to go crazy if Kamala wins. Like, obviously I want her to win, but I'm also kind of scared for, like, what the very, 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 like, radical right-wing people are going, how they're going to react. It kind of scares me because I feel like there's going to be, like, a literal civil war, and I'm a little bit nervous about that. Like, I'm not prepared for that. I need, like, a shelter for 3 cats and my boyfriend, because I will not be partaking. But anyways, let's get ready for this story time. Let's start reading these stories, shall we? The title of the first story is, Will I be the asshole if I told my late wife's family that she cheated on me? Trigger warnings, infidelity, death of a loved one, and grief. Anna, my late wife, died in a car accident. Person lost control of their car and ran her over, and she passed away immediately. We were both 26 at the time. It was 4 years ago, right before the pandemic. We were having a bad time as a couple. She was extremely jealous of me and also very protective of her phone. Shortly after her death, I found out I had an STD, and surprise, surprise, she was cheating on me. On the day that she passed away, a guy we went to college and was kind of friends with sent her messages asking for pictures of their last encounter. And the way he talked, it seemed like it was recent, and it seemed like they talked often. I was able to get in her phone and laptop, as she didn't change her passwords, because she would always ask to check my phone and I would ask for hers back, so I had the password. There wasn't much because she deleted everything or hid it very well, but the most recent messages, she obviously couldn't delete them, so everything that came after her death was still there. While looking for the pictures he asked for, I found pictures of her and him in a random place at her work folders, at her laptop. In one of them, she had short hair, which she only had right after we got engaged, so she was with him for at least 3 years out of our 6 years together. I also found pictures of 2 other guys, but I have no idea who they are, and there was no messages from either of them anywhere. I messaged the friend and told him that I knew. I told him about the STD and that I won't reveal it to anyone and want it to be kept a secret forever. I asked him if anyone else knew, and he said that his ex knew, but he would talk to her. I decided that for the sake of her parents and siblings, I would pretend she was a great person and let them have their beautiful memories with her. Anna's older brother, Thomas, 34 male, is a good friend of mine to this day. I would even go as far to say that we're best friends. After 2 years of my wife's passing, I was ready to date again. Thomas said that he knew the perfect girl for me. He just wanted me to be sure that I was ready for something serious before introducing each other. It was his sister in law, Laura, 27 female. We knew each other only superficially, but never really talked before our first date. I fell, her, I fell for her quick and hard. We started dating, and about 3 months in, we were telling each other I love yous, and I told her I was going to marry her. It has been a little less than 2 years. We're engaged, and I've never been this happy. I told her all about my relationship with Anna. I still have evidence of what she did stored away in my computer just in case, and I showed it to Laura. She cried a little and comforted me, but I assured her that I was fine and that I was over it. The problem comes with Anna's family, especially her mom and sister. Ever since Anna's passing, every time they talk about her, people want to hear me talk. They ask me about her, try to include me in conversations about her. Anna was such a good cook, right? I loved when she and you would banter. Remember? Stuff like this. I was able to get by in the beginning by saying it was difficult for me to talk about her, that I was not ready. They let me be for a while, but ever since I started dating Laura, I couldn't use the I'm not ready excuse. Her friends, sister, and mom get annoyed if I don't sound enthusiastic or depressed, learn that it's easier to look depressed. Also, if I talk about Anna in any way that isn't portraying her as an angel that came down to earth to bless us with her presence, I get side-eyed. Thankfully, Thomas and her father are great guys, and don't push me too hard on this. Her dad is always thankful that I attend their family gatherings. As we like to talk about our field of work, he always says he considers me a son. Her mom and sister, though, they get pissy if I try to dodge the topic of Anna, and the sister even said it out loud once that it's obvious that I didn't love Anna. She apologized after, but I mean, she isn't wrong. By the end, I didn't, and sure as hell I don't now. Look, I'm over what happened. I don't feel hate for Anna anymore. I sometimes catch myself wishing she was alive just so I didn't have to pretend anymore, but also because her death was a tragedy. A lot of people loved her. Her friends organize a reunion for her birthday, and those are incredibly hard. And even though I know her affair partner will be there, I go because I know how much she meant to those people. But this is all starting to get to me because it's affecting Laura. I can't say I love her in front of these people. I can't even hug her. And Anna's sister gets all moody. Her best friend stopped speaking to Laura. They were also friends. Anna's mom even came to us at Thomas's birthday party last week and asked us to stop dancing to respect her grief. She also contacted my mom and Laura's parents to say that she was incredibly disappointed that I proposed to Laura so soon, saying that we are moving too fast. It's been 4 years, even if she wasn't a cheater. More than enough time has passed. I'm just over it, and I'm seriously considering telling them all what happened, just to get the weight of my back. Will I be the asshole if I did this? No. You will not be the asshole. It's so funny when questions like that are just so obvious, because obviously not. Like, first of all, I hate the fact that just because someone's dead, they're such a good person now. Just because someone's dead doesn't mean that everything they did wrong during their life is just negated, and you have to push it under the rug and just accept that, you have to act like they're the perfect person. Obviously, if they did something so terrible to you, you don't have to pretend that they're the most amazing person ever. And I don't think that you should have even, I mean, I understand being nervous telling them, but honestly, I feel like you should have just told everyone right away as soon as you found out, because then they would understand. Or even if they didn't, then you could just distance yourself from them and not have to worry about it, because the way that you handle your grief is going to be so different than the way that everyone else does, because obviously they're remembering all the good things because she probably hasn't done anything to that degree to them. It's like someone could literally have killed my dog, and then once they die, it's like, actually, they lit up the room when they walked in. Every room they came in, they just lit up the room. They were just a bright light. Actually, no, they killed my dog, but okay. Okay, we can pretend. We can play pretend. So I would just tell them and be like, hey, just to let you know, this is all the proof that I have, and I know that she was cheating on me for like a really long time, so that's why I've been acting like this. And also, girl, I mean not girl, but girl, like, hug your fiance, kiss your fiance, dance with your fiance, say no. These people, what are they? The boss of you? Like, sorry, just be like, okay, um, I would just be like, if someone even said, hey, will you guys please stop dancing together because of my grief? What is this guy with a new woman and being happy have to do with your grief? What how does make it make sense? The math ain't mathin'. 2 plus 2 is not 5. So I'm a little confused. Some of the relevant comments that they included on this post are OOP on how his late wife was protective of her phone. OOP said, I was also confused about it for a long time. My best guess is that she only had her blow-ups when she hid everything and deleted the messages. So she was ready to give it to me, knowing that it was clean. I never asked in other scenarios, only when she asked to see mine, and same for the computer. Oh, OOP on going low contact with Anna's parents. OOP said, I don't have much family. My sister lives far away. My dad passed away. It's only my mom, and my extended family also lives where my sister lives. Like I said, Thomas is my best friend, and he is Laura's brother-in-law. Laura's family and Anna's are really close. They even do some holidays together. Other than Thomas and his wife, there's also a cousin of Anna's that is married to Laura's older brother. It's a bit of a mess, but both families are tight, so it's impossible to not be in their lives. Then maybe you should stick up for yourself. That's what I would like to say. All right. There's an update, and this is 1.5 months later. Will I be the asshole if I told my late wife's family that she cheated on me? Update. Hello again. Sorry for not replying to most of you. There were too many comments and I wasn't able to respond to many. Thank you so much for caring though. I had used Reddit for advice on a work-related issue in the past and it was helpful. I feel like it came through again. Only updating because I received so many DMs asking for it, and I hate when I read something and it has no resolution, and as I think there is no harm doing it, here I am. Something that I want to add because I didn't feel it was relevant before, but seeing so many people saying so many mean things about Anna made me feel like it's relevant just for some people to understand how I feel about her. Maybe it isn't relevant, but I feel like saying it and putting it out there. Anna loved me. She really did. She wasn't some monster that wanted me to be miserable and make me a fool. I saw the way she talked about me to other people. She loved me. She was worried I would divorce her and was talking to people about how to turn around our marriage, how to put it back on track. The issue was that she had a kink, and I had absolutely no desire to partake in it. She asked a couple times, once early in the relationship and another time after we got married, and I refused unequivocally both times and was particularly judgmental about it. All the pictures I found were of her in those kink scenarios. So yeah, she was sexually frustrated and used those men to satisfy her kink, but she loved me. She was just very selfish, dumb, and reckless. I really believe this, and I say all of this because she was a really terrible wife. She cheated on me for years because of an effing kink, but she was not a terrible person. She was only a terrible partner. There is a reason so many people loved her so much. I went with my gut feeling of talking to Thomas. It seems like a lot of people came to the conclusion that this was the best way to deal with this. Me and Laura went to his house and we talked to him and his wife, Laura's sister. I told them that I was only bringing this up now because mine and Laura's lives are being affected by the way people perceive me as Anna's husband. People want me to be a memory of her life, when in reality, being reminded that I was married to her felt like a gut punch, and I'm at my limit. But I kept on trying because I love her family, and I know how much she meant to those people. I told them that I did not love the person she became when she died, that we were probably headed for divorce soon, even without the things I learned. The only reason I didn't share it with anyone was because I didn't see a point to tarnish her memory and change people's perception of her when it wouldn't matter to anyone and it would only bring pain for those that loved her. Now, though, this decision is biting me in the ass because I also have to act like she was perfect. The reason I told them this was so they could opt in to knowing more if they wanted, but if they would rather stay ignorant to the situation, they could. Thomas wanted to know everything, so I told them. He asked to see the proof, and I told him that the pictures were sexual and graphic. It was not a good idea for him to see it. He asked his wife to see them. I showed it to her, and she confirmed to him that it was real, and they were really bad. She actually flinched looking at them. He asked if it was only one time. I told him it was with 3 different guys, and one of them went on for at least 3 years that I knew of. He was mad, cussed a lot, not at me, but at the situation. I started to regret everything at that point. He said, F, why is she so effing stupid? He called Anna stupid a bunch of times. He asked for some time to think stuff over and went out. I left Laura and her sister talking and also went on a drive. About an hour later, Thomas called me and asked me to come back to his house. He and Monica gave me a big hug. She was crying a lot. He asked me what I wanted to do. I told him that all I wanted is to move on from this and be happy with Laura. He told me that he would handle his mom and sister and that I didn't need to worry about them anymore, but I should just distance myself from his family and Anna's friends for a while. He said I'm his brother, and that will never change. We all hugged it out, and that was it. My ex-sister-in-law has since reached out and told me that she knew Anna was cheating on me, but thought that we were working through it. Anna told her about a year before she died and said that she would come clean and try to work on the marriage. Now, Thomas told her what happened, and she has apologized a lot. Said that she has been basically ignoring her flaws ever since she died, but it has turned unhealthy for both her and her mom. She said she will help me with anything I need regarding this topic. My ex-father-in-law and mother-in-law don't know anything, and we will keep it that way. I will try to make time to hang out with my father-in-law from time to time, and considering him and my new father-in-law are good friends, me and Thomas have been talking about taking them fishing, golfing, maybe just going to a bar, stuff like that, at least once a month. And as for my ex-mother-in-law, I just keep my interactions to a minimum. So yeah, I think it worked out well. Another thing is that Laura wants to speed up our wedding planning, so hopefully we will get married in March or April. Before we were talking about having a long engagement, but there's no point in waiting. We both know what we want, and I'm happy. Very happy. The thing that I can't stop thinking about is I need to know what her kink was. Sorry, can you please tell me what the kink was? That's the one thing I really want to know. Like, I can't think of something, I can think of something that would be really disturbing, but like, would that be it? I don't know. Can someone please tell me? Commenter in this post that was included, whatever, it says, you do not have to respond, and I guess you kept it vague on purpose, but what was the kink? Because most times you see people disgusted with their partners when something like this happens, and you seem very, calm. OOP said, yeah, I won't say what it was, but let's just say she did stuff to the guy, not the other way around. Honestly, the guys in the pictures looked pathetic, and if those were to leak, they would be the ones ridiculed, not me. The affair partner that I talked to was desperate when I told him I had pictures. That made it 10 times easier for me to move on. I would say this was better than if she had a normal affair, at least for my mental health. Wait, she was pegging them? What's wrong with that? Why is that so disgusting? I understand not wanting to be pegged as a guy, okay? I understand that, but it's like, I don't see anything wrong with being pegged. Why does he think it's so disgusting? I was thinking it was like something terrible, like, trigger warning, a grape kink or something. Like, what? Okay, some of the comments. Is it pegging or is it something more exotic? It was pegging. He mentioned it in a comment. That's exactly what I was betting my non-existent money against no one on. Why? What's so bad about pegging? Girl. Honestly, you probably would have liked it. I'm acting like I've pegged someone. I've never pegged someone, guys, I promise. But I have heard that the men's, like, have a G-spot located in their anus. I hate that word. Located in their booty hole. So, I feel like that would probably feel good for most guys. As long as it didn't rip their asshole open. Okay. Someone said, damn, I put all my funny money on scat. I don't know what scat is. It's just pegging, not even with chastity cages. Boring. With the way OOP mentioned the men looking pathetic, I was guessing cross-dressing / sissification could still also be the case, I suppose. Not me thinking, oh my god, sissification, I love that. But let's not kink shame pegging, because I feel like that's really not disgusting. Like, the way I was thinking it was something so terrible, like an SA kink, is crazy. The way you explained it was not good. Okay. Next story, number 2. The title is, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Raise My Husband's Secret Child? And I, female 32, met my husband in an arranged marriage setup at 21 and he was 27 and in postgraduate medical degree. During my MBBS days, and we liked each other and got married after a year of courtship. But after marriage, I found out that he was so controlling, etc. From clothes. Am I gonna have to like fucking read this carefully because I can't understand. During my MBBS days, I don't even know what that means. Okay. But it says from clothes to my male friends. Don't know what that means. Whatever. It became an issue for him. I have to fight for my dress up. He liked me as a modern girl, but after marriage, he wanted me to wear traditional. I had my son at 25, and with the help of my parents and in laws, I was able to complete my MBBS and later my residency. We've had our ups and downs as he was controlling, and I had to fight a lot for myself. We had separated finances because from our joint investments, he gifted his sister lots of gold without even asking. But I stayed quiet because I loved my mother and father-in-law. Now I have recently found out my husband had a son with a woman 12 years back and in India. Having a child before marriage is a sin. It's seen as a black mark, especially on women, even today. But the women here weren't liked by my in-laws, and they gave her a huge amount of money and one rental property to stay out of their lives, which she obliged. That's why they rushed his marriage with me. Now she is dying of cancer. She visited our home and it was a huge mess. Her son fully looks like my husband, and my husband admitted as he had no other option. He hasn't seen that kid in years. Now I'm asking for a divorce. I'm going to get half of our joint assets. I earn a lot of money to keep my son happy and successful. I have my own clinic and pharmacy shop on my parents' property, so I am financially set. Now, my in laws have taken that other kid as the mother is very sick and in the hospital. I'm currently at my parents' house. They're asking me to raise the kid and forgive my husband. All throughout life, I have handled his anger issues. Slaps, not regular, but sometimes during an argument, though I slapped back too. He didn't cheat post-marriage, but I wasn't informed earlier about the kid. I will never stop my son's access to his father or paternal grandparents, but I don't want any relationship with that kid of his. I don't care if he's innocent or not. I don't want to be resentful stepmother of some child. I also always wanted one kid. My parents haven't pressured me, but they say give this marriage a chance and that just be cordial to the kid if possible. But I shut it down. They don't know about the slaps. It's happened around 6 to 7 times in total. My husband has been served divorce papers. Him, my in-laws, and my relatives are all asking to think about the young child and give that kid motherly love, which I don't want to. I will never stop my son from having a good relationship with that kid, but he won't be welcome in my home or my life. I've been called a bitch, a witch, etc. for not forgiving my husband and not thinking about the child. My only concern is my son, and I want him to grow up happy, etc. I also have decided to not go for dating or other matches for the next 3 or 4 years so I can give my child proper care. Am I the asshole for refusing to raise my husband's secret child? The amount that I changed that while reading it is crazy. Some of it I didn't really understand and I didn't really know how to change, but whatever. Okay, there's an update, so let's see what happened. We have a settlement without big issues. I'm getting $2 million in the settlement and we won't drag on this case. I will invest most in my son's name because if tomorrow I remarry, I don't want anyone to access my son's inheritance in case something happens to me. He will also pay for my son's private schooling as well as college. I will be I will have primary custody, but he and his in-laws will have access to my son, and we don't live far, so I won't stop my son from visiting them with supervision under his nanny from my side till he grows up old enough and his new sibling. Although he keeps missing his dad and asking why we're not together, I've told him that mom and dad have different work reasons. That's why. I also made it clear to my ex and my in-laws that if my son got brainwashed or something, I will drag them to court. Also, to never force his new kid on me during meets, etc. I won't stop my son from meeting his half-brother, but I don't want that kid in my house or in my life. This is the update for now, and we won't drag the case as it takes years, and it will be a hit on his reputation. I'm no. I mean, go off, queen. Be a boss. Make your own decisions, girl. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't want to raise him. Like, I probably wouldn't want to do that either. So, he should raise his kid. Why doesn't he raise his kid? Why does this woman have to raise his kid? Some of the top comments. But the father not interacting with the son for years on end. Perfectly fine. Carry on. Well, you see, he had motherly love at that time. The father is never needed for child rearing. Unfortunately, it culturally makes sense. Everyone in such culture would do exactly what the husband did if given the opportunity, and everyone thinks the wife shouldn't have a choice but to suck it up. Their beliefs and everything they know about their society is at stake here, and they can't afford that. Otherwise, other women might start to see that divorce is a viable option too. It's what's causing them to come out and convince the wife to stay. Someone said it's incredibly goofy to pretend a billion people are all the same. Doubly so when the story could have happened in a Western country with only superficial changes. Okay. OOP was lied to. I'm glad she's choosing herself and her son. I feel like they only pressured OOP to stay so they wouldn't have to take care of the kid themselves. Built-in babysitter. Yucky. Someone said, not the asshole and tell your family about the hitting. Hopefully that will get them more fully on your side. And then someone said, bold of you to assume that this would change anyone's opinion in OOP's country, society, and family. I have friends who are from India, as in born and raised and moved here for work, who still have family in India. They believe domestic violence is wrong. I don't know what steps their families in India would take to deal with it, but I know my friends here support divorce. I'm not saying there isn't a massive issue culturally when it comes to violence against women, just pointing out that there are definitely people in India who are against it. Is this girl religious? I feel like she's religious. Or maybe not. I don't know. I thought it was like a religious thing to have an arranged marriage. I didn't think it was just a cultural thing. But let me know. Because I guess it could be a cultural thing, but I just always feel like that kind of stuff is like more religion based. But I mean, then again, I guess there are like cultures that do stuff differently. I just don't know because I'm not cultured, unfortunately. I'm literally just so boring. Actually, my grandma's side of the family was German and like spoke German, so that's cool, but like I didn't grow up around any of that, so I'm just boring as hell. But, you know, one cool thing that I kind of got to experience, like culture related, is that every Christmas my grandma would make Wiener Wurst, which is this, it's kind of like a German meatloaf, which whenever I look it up, I'm probably not spelling it right, but I can never find it. But it's basically just like a bunch of different meat mixed together with a lot of seasoning, and then it's so good though. It's so yummy in my tummy. But that's about the only thing that I know. And that's really sad. I used to know how to count to 10 in German, but no, I don't. I think it's like eins, fein, drei, something, something, sex. I know that one. Sex. I don't know. I don't know if that's 6 or what, but I just know that's a number. Or at least that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, so I wish that I had a culture, but unfortunately I don't. My stomach is starting to hurt, and I'm wondering if it's because I ate like an RX bar with white egg whites in it? Probably. But I feel like a RX bar is already, like, it's so processed that it shouldn't hurt my stomach. But I'm probably going to take some Advil after this. Okay. Oh, child, things are gonna get easier. Next story, which this title is so strange. My sister-in-law licked my face, and now my brother is not talking to me. Like, okay, thank you. Alright, I'm sorry for the title, but that's as concise as I could be about it. I'm 22 male, and my brother is 28 male. He's been engaged to his fiancée for a few months now. She's 24. My brother's fiancée is your typical spoiled party girl, and to be honest, so is my brother. In the last year or so, my brother and I had a strained relationship. This is mostly due to differences of opinion when helping take care of our mom, who is struggling with some PTSD and anxiety. She got held hostage by a man at her job and is still recovering and not back to work yet. For some context, my brother is a very impatient and opinionated person who struggles to see things outside of his own perspective. He doesn't have a good grasp on mental health. He is easily persuaded by what he reads online, and he gets caught up in conspiracy theories. And I noticed COVID and the pandemic kind of exacerbated all of this. I work as a paramedic, and he's been arguing with me about thinking I know better than him ever since. I'm adopted, and my bio mom was of a different ethnicity, so we don't look like brothers. When he can't think of a way to win an argument, he brings up the fact that I'm not her real son or his real brother. It wasn't always like this between us, which is sad. He's just not the same person, and I'm not sure if it's work and stress or life stress or what. I get that this post is going to be skewed by my perspective, but I'll try to be objective when it comes to the conflict. My birthday was last weekend when this happened. My brother's fiancée apparently had the idea to throw me a surprise party. Most of the people there were friends of my brother and the fiancée. Everyone was drunk. They made a bit of a show of bringing me out a cake and having me blow out the candles. Before I did that, my brother's fiancée swiped frosting on her finger and put it on my cheek. I thought it was just her being nice and not trying to smash a piece of cake in my face. I blew out the candles, and after I did that, his fiancée grabbed my face and licked it, like from my jaw all the way up the side of my face. I have no idea why she did this. We don't even have the kind of relationship where it would be funny. My brother's face changed. His demeanor changed. He became very withdrawn and irritable. They were seen quietly fighting, and he ended up just leaving the party. I brought it up the next day to make sure he was okay, and apparently the two of them made up. It's me he has an issue with. I don't know what she told him, but it seems as if I'm the one being made out to be flirting with her, wanting her, etc., which is not even remotely true. I told him to leave me out of his relationship problems. It's his partner who disrespected him and embarrassed him. He's angry at the wrong person. I refuse to apologize. Apparently, I'm going to be out of the wedding unless I do. He's upset because I won't admit to my mistake. Well, I don't feel like I made one. Should I just do it for the sake of settling it? Normally I'm willing to be the bigger person, but this is a false accusation. I don't want attached to myself. Am I the asshole? Don't apologize. Dude, this guy can suck my nut. Seriously, I'd be like, you're dumb as fuck for being mad at me because your fiance licked my face. Okay? And either get over it, or I don't give a fuck if I'm not in your wedding at this point. Like, why do you even care? And also, you should probably talk to the girl too and be like, hey, you ruined mine. I mean, not like they had a good relationship anyways, but you ruined our relationship because you fucking licked my face, and then I don't know what you said behind my back, but you made it a lot worse. And then say bye and like, stand up for yourself. Say, I'm not in the wrong at all. No one would ever think that I'm in the wrong. She licked my face, which the fact that we're, like, talking about this right now is crazy. But tell your fiance to not lick people's face without their consent, actually, because that would be disgusting. I wouldn't even want, like, my boyfriend to be licking my face from my jaw all the way up my head. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? There's an update, though, 10 days later. Okay. Update, after trying to reach out to my brother, he finally came around and stopped ignoring me. He didn't want to talk about what happened, but was willing to put it behind us. And to be honest, I think talking about it would have been healthier, but I decided to let it go because he was so adamant. Then just the other day, he came to me on his own and admits that he feels unsure about his relationship and is struggling to trust his fiancée ever since the incident on my birthday. I told him that there's no rush to get married and he should take time to figure out what he's feeling. I didn't try to give any particular opinion because I feel like this is something he needs to figure out for himself. Also, I genuinely don't know what's going on between them. He still took what I said the wrong way somehow, and we ended up having an argument. He thinks I'm not happy for him and don't want to see him successful / starting a family. I tried to walk away at this point in the conversation because no matter what I said, it was just going to get misconstrued, but he didn't want to stop fighting. Somewhere in that, I finally learned why he's so mad at me these days. It turns out he's pissed that our mom paid for my tuition. I've been going overtime to pay her back. Clarification. If it matters, she doesn't actually want me to pay her back. It was a gift. I'd like to pay her back slowly. My brother feels this money should have been given to him for his wedding, which I am no longer invited to. I don't really know how to fix things, but that's where we're at. Don't fix things. 3 words. Don't fix things. And also, don't talk to them. Like, what? I don't really understand why people keep people like this in their lives. Just because you're family, that doesn't mean you have the right to treat me like shit and then just get away with it. Like, I'd be cutting these people off so quick. And I understand that it's like life's short, and it's like when you think about it, it's sad because like if you died tomorrow or if they died tomorrow, obviously you'd be really sad and you would probably feel guilty for not talking to them, but that doesn't matter in the end. Because if you're going to be a shitty person and you're not going to work on yourselves or fix things and you're just going to constantly treat me like shit, then you're not going to be in my life. So there you have it. Like, it's really, I mean, I understand why it's hard, but it's really not that hard to just be a good person. So, like, I don't know why he is so, he's so hard-headed and like so fucking annoying, and I would hate to have that boy like or that brother in my life. Like, I would literally want to actually die. But it's like, if my dad was like the most toxic man ever and he was constantly doing things to like fuck my life up and was constantly over and over and over again, and then I was like, hey, I actually don't like this, and actually this bothers me, and can you like try to work on yourself? And he just kept refusing and kept acting like a terrible person. Then he'd be done. Like, I don't care. Like, you're my dad, okay, then treat me with some respect. Like, if you want to be in my life, you can't treat me like shit and just keep getting away with it. And it should be as simple as that. It doesn't matter if you're my dad. Like, I shouldn't have to accept a shitty relationship and shitty treatment just because of that. So, don't accept that kind of stuff in your life. No one should. If people are treating you like shit, like, why are you going to force to have a relationship with someone when they're just treating you terribly and they clearly don't see you the same, like, they don't respect you the same way that you respect them? Hi, Bubby. Say hi to Frank. He's making another guest appearance. Huh. He's been going outside recently because he always tries to go outside whenever we're leaving. Like, he's always right by the door. And I never thought he would like it outside because every time we put him in his carrier, he's actually insane and he fucking like spins around like a tornado in a cartoon. Like the Tasmanian devil, literally. And so I was like, and he'll be like so loud. He's like, oh, like that really sad meow that you never hear before until like you take them to the vet in their carrier. So I never thought that he would like it. And then I put the harness on him and I bring him outside and he's a fan. He's a huge fan. He loved it. He is like wagging his tail, like looking around, like smelling everything in the world. He didn't like walk far or anything. He went like around the street and stuff, or like the sidewalk. But he was so cute and he looked so cute in the little harness, and I always take all my we tried to harness trained Poppy when she was a kitten, but she just doesn't like it. And I tried to take her out the other day. She hates it. And then Willa is like the good girl. She is fine being outside. She's fine being in the car without like her carrier or anything. But anyways, sorry. I just got off track because this guy is like right in my face with his bully hole. Yeah, so that's what I have to say. Let's read some comments though. Not the asshole. She assaulted you. Your brother should be mad at her, not you. Probably best to just go no contact at least for a while. Not the asshole. Your brother is a jealous asshole and his girlfriend is a creep. I doubt their relationship will last until the wedding, but if it does, I bet the wedding will be a drunken mess. You sound like a good person. Take care of yourself and your mom and leave your brother to deal with his problems. Hopefully one day he'll grow up and want a better relationship with both of you. So the party girl licked his face and somehow it's OOP's blame. I don't know. I'd like to know what the fiancé told to OOP's brother. Surely her mental gymnastics are world record worthy. It sounds like the brother dislikes OOP enough that she wouldn't have had to say much. Her twisting the story is classic deflection to cover her own bizarre behavior. OOP said his brother also parties, and these people are not the brightest bunch, so I'm not surprised by the mental gymnastics. I think the brother blames him for anything wrong that he is involved in anyway because he's not a part of the family and he shouldn't even be there. The girl obsessed with K-pop who, when sober, is shy and awkward around OOP, who is half Korean, drunkenly licked his face at the surprise party she insisted on throwing for OOP. She's a red flag and his brother is awful. Yikes. I mean, she did what she wanted to do. I honestly blame the brother. She's shown you who she is. Believe her and leave. I did not even pick up on her saying that she's into K-pop and he's Asian. That's actually crazy. Okay, well, it's time for my exit. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories today, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you thought about the stories. Let me know if you have any thoughts or opinions on the stories. I really hope that you enjoyed. I will see you guys on Friday. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye. See you later.